Hola a todos. Vamos a hablar sobre making accent notes in Spanish. We're going to talk about making accent notes in Spanish using your computer. Today, accent marks are very, very important in Spanish because the absence of an accent mark, or sometimes putting one where it doesn't belong, can change the meaning of a word and completely change what you're trying to say. So accent marks are very important. Now, if you're using your phone or your tablet to do this, all you have to do is hold down on the key that you're typing on the surface of your tablet or phone. Hold it down and you'll get a whole new menu pop up with all kinds of different accent marks you can put on. So that's fairly easy, but when you're using a computer, it's a little more difficult. So here we go. The first letter we're talking about is la letra A, letter A. And for a Windows unit, you have to do two things. You have to hold down the Alt key, and while you're holding it down, you have to go over to that number keyboard over on the right-hand side of the keyboard, way over past all of this stuff. Make sure your number lock is on, and then while you're holding down the Alt key, type in 160, and then let everything up at the same time, and you'll get this lowercase letter A with an accent. Now, if you want the uppercase, same thing. Hold down the Alt key, type in 0193. Bang! You just got uppercase letter A with an accent mark. Now, if you're using a Mac, it's similar, but you're going to hold down the Option key. While you're holding it down, you're going to hold down the letter E and the letter A, and that will give you what you need. Okay, la letra I, letter I. Same process, hold down the Alt key, type in 161. Make sure you're using the number keyboard over on the right-hand side of the computer, not the numbers at the top of the keyboard, because that will not work. If you want an uppercase I, hold down Alt and punch in 0205. If you're on a Mac, Option, and I believe this is wrong. I believe it should be Option, the letter E, and then the letter I. Try it and see. Okay, letter O. Lowercase o is Alt 162. Uppercase O is Alt 0211. Make sure you're holding down the Alt key while you're typing in the numbers. On a Mac, Option, letter E, and letter O. So, letter U, la letra U. Alt 163. Uppercase Alt 0218. On a Mac, Option, E, and the letter U. Ñ. We use the ñ when we want that ñ sound on words like uña, fingernail. So they're pretty important. For lowercase, Alt 164. Uppercase, this is really convenient, Alt 165. On a Mac, Option, N. And remember that you have to have this squiggly called a tilde over the top of the N. If you don't get the ñ sound. You just get n. And there's a difference. Una is very different from uña. Okay, next thing is the upside down question mark. Remember, in Spanish, if we're asking a question or making an exclamation, we need to put the punctuation at the front of the sentence upside down and the back of the sentence like we normally do in English. So on a Windows unit, Alt 168. On a Mac, Shift, Option, and the question mark key. The letter E, la letra E. Lowercase e is Alt 130. Uppercase Alt 0201. And on a Mac, Option E. And the upside down question mark, you got to have it. Alt 173 for a Windows unit. For a Mac, you're just going to hit Option and the number 1. And the last one, if I can get this to work. The last one is a letter that you won't use a lot, but ever so often in Spanish we need a GU to sound like GUA. Well, if you use the U with the accent, it's going to be G. So to get that GUA sound, we're going to borrow from the German alphabet and use these umlaut right here. This would be for a word like pinguino, P-I-N-G-U with the umlaut, I-N-O. You're going to hit Alt 129. On a Mac, it's going to be Option U. Okay, so this video will be posted on my YouTube page, which is Mrs. Kirtland's Spanish channel. It'll be available all year for you if you need to refresh your memory. You can also go to any website that does this. There's one at the front of this presentation, and you can pull that up in a second window to have these codes available for you. Either way. Okay? Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye now.